Yo, 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 what it do now? Jokesta, bye. Yeah, no mind. Back again with another controversial conversation. And yesterday we had some fun. Talked about why the revolution gonna be bloody and why we really ain't ready for it. Really, really great segment. Go and check that one out. Then we also talked about why politics, they really ain't about politics. You know what I mean? They're more about sociology, psychology, economy, or economics, I guess you would say, and spirituality. And, it's a very, very interesting dynamic that happens when one decides to choose who they want to vote for, who they believe in, what ideals they have, this, that, and the other. It's crazy, but it all comes together. And we spoke about that, so go check that one out. Real quick, shameless plug. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Controversial Conversation will be on your airways every day for the most part. And go check out the, I think, 150 other videos that we got. We're going to continue to push out. But here we go. Today, I want to talk about the adage, taxation is theft. Now, I know you guys have heard this, and it's normally thrown out on the right. For a long time, I truly, truly fell into the guise of believing this. I was like, yeah, man, it's theft. Like, if I don't pay it, I'm going to jail. They are essentially getting this from the end of a barrel against me, right? They're stealing my money. They're taking it. I go to work. Who the hell is FICA? Why he get bread, right? I'm mad about all of it. But as you get older, you start to understand certain things. Now, I'm not going to specifically go into the social contract because I get it. We feel like we didn't sign it, so therefore, why should we abide by it? So I'm not going to go the social contract way. But what I am going to say is that there does kind of feel like a social responsibility to take care of those in your community, right? Especially the ones that can't take care of themselves, the children, the disabled, the elderly, the sick. How are they supposed to be tended to? You know what I mean? So when it comes down to taxation, when I think about it from like, do I want to live in a better community, a better society, a safer place? Then it's like, well, yeah, okay, fine. We, I guess, have to pay something. So I don't nowadays believe in that. But I do have an issue. And my issue is, why does it seem like the tax money that we are paying is always being misallocated, always not being spent in our best interest, right? So to me, if I'm paying taxes, I have no problem making sure that people have education with the tuition-free college because we already have the K through 12. So therefore, if it's a public, university, then yeah, I believe, and community colleges, JUCOs, whatever, I think those should definitely be free without a doubt. I think that you should be able to continue your education, especially in this ever-changing world. Healthcare, I do believe that we need some type of universal healthcare system. Fuck pharmaceutical companies and fuck insurance companies. They are nothing but middlemen that are easily able to be taken out of the equation. But right now, what they're doing is they're kind of supplementing their own income by screwing us over, right? And we're going to talk a lot about the way that pharmaceutical companies do that, because I came across an amazing article that it says for the past decade now, every pharmaceutical that has been approved, right, that has been approved, has been government funded. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about the pharmaceutical companies making hand over foot because they like to, whatever. But thanks to the Inflation Reduction Act, there were provisions in there that help with Medicare, that help with capping costs, I believe, at $35 for insulin, and then $2,000 out-of-pocket costs for individuals. I can't remember when that's going to start, but that was also for prescription costs. So they are going down. So within healthcare, right? I do believe housing. There should be some type of housing. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no way that you live in a modern, industrialized nation and you're homeless. I just don't. I don't agree with that. I don't think everybody should, I guess, get the house for free or whatnot. But I think that there should be some type of better programs in place to help homelessness in America, which is a very, very prevalent issue. You know what I'm saying? There's just a lot of things that I think should really, really have our money be spent on. But those aren't the things that we're really having, our money go towards. We have it go to the defense budget, which is getting close to $1 trillion, y'all. It's getting close to $1 trillion. But the bigger problem that I have with the defense budget, not to say that we don't need a defense budget. We do. we do. And in fact, when it comes to that whole socialism conversation about why is socialism a problem, we have a lot of socialized programs here in the United States, and the military being the number one that we all agree on. So, when it comes down to paying taxes on the right, they don't have a problem when it comes to the military, but they just don't want to pay taxes. And it's a very weird contradiction. I don't really understand it. But aside from that, let me move forward. So, right, we pay taxes, but we're not getting what we're supposed to get from them. And when it comes to the defense budget being what it is, my biggest problem is most of that money goes to defense contractors and is also spent on things that will never ever do anything. Planes that will never fly. You know what I'm saying? Like, we spend billions and billions upon trillions of dollars, it feels like, on equipment that we're never going to use. Sometimes it's just failed equipment, right? Now, a lot of it goes into research, which is cool. I'm good with that, researching new things. But if it's only to research death and destruction, I'm not really with that. That's not really cool. So I think more of the research should be towards advancing and progressing rather than, destroying. But the fact that our VAs are so underfunded to where if you go there, you know it's going to be a hell of a day. Veterans know exactly what I'm talking about. Yet our defense budget is so big that it engulfs at least the next 10 to 15 budgets spent by other countries, and I believe there are allies. We are the only nation that has bases set up everywhere across the country. I think we over like 900 bases, right? So yeah, we have a problem with our military industrial complex, and that is all funded by us. Now, when it comes to giving money to foreign countries, I have issues with that as well at times. I don't think we should be giving money to Ukraine the way that we have. I don't think we should be giving money to Saudi Arabia the way that we do. I don't like the way that we've been giving them bombs so they can go have a genocide in Yemen. And another thing, I don't think that we should be funding Israel, especially when Israel has access to things like the healthcare system, like public college and stuff like that, that we don't have the access to, yet we're still subsidizing them. Right? Speaking of subsidizing, corporate subsidizing, I am so tired of having to subsidize corporations like Walmart and Amazon and Apple and all of these other things. Walmart specifically, because Walmart has the highest number of employees that are receiving government assistance. Yet, they're the largest corporation that takes government subsidies, meaning they get the most taxpayer funded money. I could be wrong, but Walmart is definitely within the top five. Okay? So when it comes down to where the money is going, that is my problem. I don't have a problem with paying taxes anymore because I don't technically believe taxation is theft. I do agree that I am going to live in this country. And if I'm going to live in this country, there's certain things that I have to abide by. And when it comes to the drug laws and all kinds of stuff like that, I know y'all looking at me like, what, don't you be chiefing, nigga? Like, hold up. What I'm saying is, there are contradictory laws when it comes to certain things like drugs and the war on drugs. Like, if I cross a state line, I am officially able to smoke. See, I'm not talking about those kind of things. I'm talking about morality. I'm talking about ethics. I'm talking about understanding how do we create a better society based off of the individuals that we have, based off of the resources that we have, based off of the knowledge that we have. And right now, like I said, putting together a tax pool and utilizing that for the betterment of our society, right? Making sure I'm definitely down for what Andrew Yang and them were talking about. Even Martin Luther King said it, and it was actually started as a right or Republican ideal, a universal basic income. Like, it's at that point where, yeah, we can definitely get it off of the taxing, right? Not of ourselves, but of the corporation. Seeing as we're already subsidizing, we should get a little something back for that, right? But we don't. So, whenever people say taxation is theft or socialism is this or that and the other, you got to understand that what they're speaking about is this narrative that they have of the idea of socialism. They've heard about the socialist practices that have failed countries like Venezuela and, other countries like that. And Venezuela is a very big issue right now, especially with the immigration refugee problem that we have. But we ourselves, with the sanctions that have crippled them, have put a lot of pressure on them. And it is really a lot of our fault, not all of our fault, but a lot our fault that they're coming here. And immigration, refugee crisis is something that we also want to talk about on here because there's a lot of narratives that get thrown around about that. And from the right to the left, I think we need to go ahead and debunk and dispel all of that. So, anyways, let me go ahead and wrap this one up, man. I just want to say I truly don't have that issue with paying taxes. All right, I'm lying. I hate taxes, y'all. I do. I went through that whole spiel. I hate taxes, man. God, dog, man. Gotta get my bread, man. But if I do have to pay taxes, since I do, because I'm not trying to be state prisoner number E4578891, I am trying. I am trying my hardest to figure out how do we go about getting ourselves what we deserve for what we pay, rather than losing everything on, failed. What's the word? Gambles. Right. That's what's happening. Like, they're gambling on our future every day. And I think for once, maybe the house doesn't need to win, right? Maybe we need to win. I don't know how that happens, but I do know that if we started to actually get the things that we were wanting whenever we pay our taxes, if we could get things like the education, the healthcare, maybe a universal basic income, other programs, social safety nets, things that could really, really help people in their times of need, but also allow people to continue moving forward with their business ambitions and things like that. I feel like that's like the best place. That's like a happy medium. And until the powers that be that are invested with their interest in corporations and the stock exchange and in things that don't actually affect everyday people, it's not going to change. So we have to continue to educate ourselves. We have to continue to fight. We have to continue to find people that are going to put these policies in place that are going to help us. Because yes, taxation may be theft, but at the same time, we don't really have a choice. So if we're going to have to pay, can we at least get what we pay for?